welfare as well. As a taxpayer, I see the monumental costs to address flooding, wildfire loss, infrastructure damage, mounting health threats from extreme heat, and the breakdown of ecosystems due to extreme weather and wildly fluctuating and unpredictable weather patterns. And we face only increases in these infrastructure costs in the coming years. As each year passes, it will cost more to recover from these inundating emergencies. So I think of how much money we could all save by making the right changes to infrastructure now. We can support our economy and create a green jobs corridor in the southern tier if we plan correctly now. The current NYPA plan is not reaching high enough and not moving fast enough. The 3.5 gigawatts of proposed capacity in the strategic plan will not meet the CLCPA goals. Please increase your scope of your strategic plan. Increase the planned capacity to at least 15 gigawatts of new publicly owned renewables by 2030. You mentioned that new projects are located throughout the state, but I didn't notice any located in the southern tier. People in our community deserve benefit from green jobs and reach energy discounts. Broome County in particular has a very high proportion of households that are considered energy burdened. There's no detailed plan for shutting down NYPA's peaker power plants by 2030 as required by law. If NYPA increases its planned capacity to 15 gigawatts, it would mean 25,000 new green union jobs and the possibility to end those peaker plants and reduce pollution. Fully decarbonize our public schools by siting utility scale and distributed generation on SUNY and CUNY campuses and K-12 schools statewide, building enough capacity to meet their energy demands. Redirect economic development funds from large corporations toward renewable energy development. Focus on clean energy education and labor, and ensure equitable clean energy careers pathways. In addition, NYPA should use its projects to support improving interconnections for community solar. If I'm not out of time, the key points: increase the total planned capacity to at least 15 gigawatts. Plan additional projects in conjunction with public institutions, such as the State University of New York. Ensure clean jobs and redirect economic funds from large corporations. Thank you.
Hello. Thank you for having me. I was here earlier today, but my name's Elijah Conlon. I find it important to come back here today and talk with you guys again because I was able to have a lovely conversation with Vanilla earlier, talking about what can be done or why we're at 3.5 right now and the difficulties to make it to 15. I think that more of this conversation is very necessary, especially since that 80% of the power comes from the hydro plant, and we're talking about ways to diversify our energy sources, where they come from. And I think that looking at that central New York region and trying to figure more wind farms or more solar panels, or there was a gentleman earlier today talking about agrivoltaic projects, and I think that it's something that's worth revisiting, or just talking with a consultant, seeing what can be done, because we know a lot of us are here tonight talking about how 15 gigawatts is doable. It's the externalities that come from it are far more beneficial than what they are to cost to actually put them up. So I think that going from just 3.5 gigawatts is a great start, but getting to that 15 gigawatts is a necessity to reach our 70% reduction goals by 2030. So thank you again for listening to me, and go ahead.
Thank you guys for having me today. I have just been learning about what the New York Power Authority is, but I'm a Binghamton City Council member, and I'm sure there's a lot of residents here that aren't familiar with the Binghamton Housing Authority or weren't aware that this public hearing was happening today, but I'm sure they'd all be very supportive of bringing more renewable energy projects to New York, specifically around the southern tier and throughout Broome County. And like the last speakers have been saying, it doesn't seem like we're really meeting the mark with the 3.5 gigawatt target. I know it's getting up to 15 gigawatts is gonna be a much more ambitious plan, but I know that you were saying you wanted to be ambitious with some of these projects, and we're gonna have to push a lot harder to meet our goals. So I would just really encourage you guys to try to figure out how you can push for a much larger scope of your practice, whatever it takes to help you break through that. I'm happy to advocate with you and give you more resources in whatever way I'm able to. I'm sure everybody throughout New York State, like the majority, would support the advancement of these projects, and specifically throughout the southern tier of Broome County. So thank you so much. Please push harder and try to get closer to that 15 gigawatt mark so that we can hit our climate goals. Thank you.